tonight.
So the 2024-25 provincial budget will include the largest increase in school operating funding ever in Saskatchewan's history.
A promise of more money for education from the Premier, but bargaining between teachers and the government remains at a standstill. Also, federal cash has come through to help build a new aquatic facility in Regina. Plus, Saskatchewan locks down a playoff spot at the Brier. We'll take you live to the Brand Centre.
This is CBC Saskatchewan News.
It is Thursday, March 7th, and the CBC Saskatchewan News starts right now. Good evening and thanks for watching. A contract dispute between the Saskatchewan Teachers Federation and the province continues to drag on. Last night, Premier Scott Moe announced new education money, but the teachers union is doubling down on its vow to keep taking job action. Alexander Kwan explains.
The largest increase in school operating funding ever in Saskatchewan's history.
That is how Premier Scott Moe is portraying a $180 million increase to education funding in the upcoming provincial budget. $45 million of that will go to education supports for class complexity and class size. A video released Wednesday was part of a plan to get teachers back to the bargaining table. On Thursday, the head of the Saskatchewan Teachers Federation made it clear the tactic did not work.
There is a path that we can get past this. Unfortunately, a one-year investment can be clawed back, and we have seen that happen before.
The STF called Moe's social media video a stunt and have now vowed to further escalate job action. The union says its members will not return to the bargaining table unless the province is willing to address the issues of class complexity and class size in a new contract. The Premier had a simple answer to that.
That's their choice. It's disappointing. Very disappointing.
Both sides seem unwilling to budge, and the official opposition says the disintegration of the relationship is on the government.
The dollar amount almost is secondary to the fact that no one trusts their numbers. No one trusts that they're going to do what they say they're going to do in education.
As an example of how things are growing worse, the STF floated an allegation that there are secret talks between the Ministry of Education and the Saskatchewan School Boards Association to create a memorandum of understanding around class complexity. The STF says that would undercut their collective bargaining rights. When asked to respond, the Premier appeared to confirm those talks are happening.
The STF may disagree with this, and that's unfortunate. But any conversations around class complexity and funding of class complexity, we've been very clear, that is going to happen at the divisional level.
It's not clear what the path forward is now, but for the moment, the negotiations between the two sides remain at an impasse. Alexander Kwan, CBC News, Regina.
Meanwhile, some parents and students say they're worried about the prospect of a provincial teacher strike. The STF has announced more job action, but so far we don't know what that looks like. Aaliyah Ulrichsen is a grade 10 student in Saskatoon. She says her badminton league just started, and her jazz band is scheduled to take 2 trips to Banff and Red Deer in the coming weeks. She's worried about activities being canceled.
I'm so hopeful that they would continue, because I was so excited to go on these trips, and now hearing that they might be canceled is really, really sad.
It definitely affects my daughter in her social skills. She's really active and likes to be around her friends, and high school is a big part of that. And her not being able to get that interaction, it does affect her, and it does affect us.
Ulrichsen and her mom say they have friends who are teachers and they see how hard they work. They say they're hopeful a deal can be reached without affecting students. An update on a serious highway crash that closed Highway 11 in both directions for most of yesterday. RCMP say the crash killed a 58-year-old man from Regina. So what do we know? 2 semis collided just north of Bladworth on Highway 11. That's between Kenaston and Davidson. RCMP and fire crews were called out around 6:30 in the morning. The man who died was declared dead at the scene by EMS. The driver and passenger of the other semi were taken to hospital with injuries. As for the cause, RCMP are still investigating. Families and businesses in Regina's Cathedral neighborhood say they're tired of crime in their community. The Cathedral Village Community Association is hosting a public safety meeting later tonight to look at solutions. Businesses are reporting break-ins and loitering outside their buildings. That's prompted families, businesses, Regina Police and the Cathedral Area Community Association to get together. This meeting comes after 2 traffic-related deaths in the area over the last year. Pedestrian safety, homelessness and addictions are issues in the neighborhood.
Some businesses have expressed problems with people misbehaving in front of them and their families, and not leaving the laneways, garbage strewn about at times, and it's not a conducive atmosphere to businesses or to family life along 13th.
Jeffrey says the group is being proactive and looking for solutions going forward. The meeting is scheduled for 7 o'clock tonight at the Cathedral Community Association. Regina's Lawson Aquatic Centre will soon become a thing of the past. That's because new money has been announced to build a new geothermal replacement. 3 levels of government came together to pay for it, $128 million in total. City Council gave the project the go-ahead back in 2023. Some of the new money announced today will go toward building the geothermal component.
When we invested it's about $280,000 so far invested with PTRC and the University of Regina for the research and the feasibility study. And when it came back and showed us what that energy, that heat energy coming up, could do for us in terms of long-term savings as well as reduction in emissions, it sold it. And so I think it's massively important. We are trying to get to a place and have stated a commitment to trying to get as close to net zero facilities as we can. This one gets us really close, and so when we add in things like solar panels on the building and potentially, heat pumps and those types of things, we're gonna hit net zero on this.
Master says there is no official start date for construction yet, but she did say the new facility will be located on the old Taylor Field stadium land. Round robin play is wrapped up for Team Saskatchewan at the 2024 Montana's Brier down at the Brent Centre in Regina. It's been a really good week so far for Mike McEwen's rink from Saskatoon. So for more on this, I'm joined by CBC Sports reporter Devin Haru. Devin, what is the path forward for Saskatchewan?
Well, hello to you, Sam, and all the great curling fans across Saskatchewan. A little bit of a calm here between the Granite Storm, but not that long ago at the Brant Centre, this place was electric, of course, because Saskatchewan defeating Quebec 7-6. That is a 7-1 record for Team McEwen, of course, a team out of the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon. Top spot in Pool B, a 4-game winning streak, and the vibes around this Saskatchewan team right now are immaculate. And of course, the locals are loving it. It's been 44 years since Saskatchewan last hoisted the Brier tankard. And there's a feeling around here that that drought might just end. I talked to Mike McEwen after his win just a short time ago, asked him about the electric atmosphere. Take a listen to how McEwen responded.
Yeah, this is fun. I'm excited for Friday. And we put ourselves in a great position. 2 shots at it. What else can you ask for to get into the Final Four? So I'm just excited to see what the building looks like tomorrow. I think it's going to feel as good as it did opening night or better. I'm excited for this weekend.
So McEwen is excited. We have no idea who he's going to play. That's yet to be decided in the final round robin draw here tonight. Sam, it was a dramatic afternoon. Northwest Territories stealing a victory over Prince Edward Island to sneak into the playoffs. And Brad Gushue, the defending champion, Team Canada, 2nd place. So those are the 3 playoff teams, Sam, in Pool B.
Devin, one of the best things about curling is the community. What can you tell me about the energy and the crowd down there?
This is a heartland of curling, and I'm so happy to be home for it. I think these are the most knowledgeable curling fans in the country, and some have traveled from afar, including the Gushue girls. And during this afternoon's draw, I went into the stands. I had a chat with them. I sat with them. You can't miss them here at the Brant Centre. They're wearing the bright pink shirts. This is their 9th Brier together. Of course, they cheer for Team Gushue. And they also gave me this lucky knitted keychain one of the Gushu girls' 92-year-old mother knitting this. So I don't know if it's going to be good luck for Gushu or good luck for Saskatchewan, Sam, but the fans are soaking up the atmosphere. We're in for a huge weekend of curling at the Brandt Centre.
Thanks so much for this, Devin. Have fun tonight. That is CBC Sports reporter Devin Haru at the Brandt Centre in Regina. Head coach Lisa Tomaitis has led the University of Saskatchewan Husky women's basketball team to an impressive 19-1 record this season. And the nearly unstoppable Huskies are the #1 seed going into the Canadian University National Championships that begin today in Edmonton.
You should always spin, get a defend you, and now let the ball and make separation on your elbow catch.
Tomaitis has been named Coach of the Year. She says the team's been preparing for this moment all season, since missing out on the finals last season. The Huskies will take on the best teams in the country. Their first game tonight, 7 o'clock against the Calgary Dinos. All 11 games from the 8-team competition will be broadcast live on CBC Sports digital platforms. The fallout from Saskatoon's blizzard continues. The city is still trying to clean up. Most of the priority streets are cleared, and now the city is tackling residential streets. Cars are still getting stuck, but residents tell us they're feeling more free. Corinne Taves says she was unable to get around for several days.
Yay! I can finally leave my house because I have not driven since the storm. My husband has, but then he's ripped out something on the bottom of his car, and people were getting stuck here the whole time. So yeah, if I wanted to go anywhere, I'd have to walk over to the next block where my daughter could pick me up.
The city says it will only be moving snow piles from school zones and Priority 1 streets, including College Drive and 8th. It will be plowing local neighborhoods, but it is leaving the piles of snow, unless it's a safety issue. The hope is that things warm up soon and it can melt. Well, and you can definitely tell that today was a colder one in Saskatoon just by looking at the river. Look at all the mist and steam rising. The good news is warmer weather is coming, almost spring-like, but we're still just under 2 weeks away from that officially. Stay with us. Tyreek Reed has your forecast after the break. Welcome back. A mother, her 4 young children, and a family friend are dead after an attack in a townhouse in an Ottawa suburb. A 19-year-old man is now facing first-degree murder and attempted murder charges. Nicole Williams has the story.
A normally quiet suburban neighborhood in the city's south end, now dealing with a nightmare.
I saw a guy was sitting on the driveway and yelling. And so the police came and then they took him away. And then after that, so many police cars and ambulances were around. 20-25 police cars were there.
Police found 6 people dead in this townhouse just before 11 last night. Newcomers to Canada, all from Sri Lanka. 35-year-old Darshani Delanthaka Aikanayake and her 4 young children, all between the ages of 7 and just 2 months old.
This one will undoubtedly weigh on the hearts of everyone for a long time.
The other victim, a 40-year-old man living with the family. The only survivor, Aikanayake's husband, who went to hospital with injuries. He's in serious but stable condition.
I can only imagine how difficult it is to witness such a terrible tragedy, and our emergency personnel deserve our support and gratitude for their work.
Police quickly arrested 19-year-old Fabrio De Zoisa, who appeared in court this afternoon, charged with 6 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of attempted murder. Police say he was an international student, new to Canada, also from Sri Lanka, living with the family. Police say he used an edged weapon to kill the victims.
Our investigators and forensic teams are working very hard to determine all of the facts and ensure justice is done.
As the investigation continues, the community now coming to grips with the horror of what happened.
I'm obviously in shock, and I can't explain it. It's tough.
Did you know them?
No, I didn't, but I'm seeing it, seeing the guys in their white suits and everything. It's more real now.
A memorial has been set up nearby so that neighbors can pay their respects. Police are asking people to stay away from the scene while they conduct their investigation. Nicole Williams, CBC News, Ottawa.
The weather update is brought to you by Capital Ford Lincoln. It's March. It's madness.
Our weather specialist, Tyreek Reed, joins me now, and I'm excited to have you here because you're going to tell me nice things, right?
Nice thing, Sam, because we do have warmer weather coming, but of course we did still have to push through a bit of cooler temperatures today, mainly in southern Saskatchewan. We did see temperatures way below seasonal today. Our friends in Lloydminster even had an extreme cold weather alert issued this morning. That's of course ended, but of course we still saw daytime highs at around -12 in Lloydminster and even -15 in Saskatoon around this time of the year. We're sitting at around -1 in southern Saskatchewan. Not the case today though, but those will warm up. But right now the warmer spots were in the north actually. So our friends in Collins Bay and Stony Rapids were actually above seasonal today, and they're still currently seeing temperatures there right now at around -6 in Collins Bay, -7 in Stony Rapids. Now of course, as I mentioned, down south is really where we started to feel that cooler air today. Right now in Regina, we're sitting at around -14. In central Saskatchewan, we're seeing temperatures closer to -20 in areas like Saskatoon and even over in Kindersley. But of course, those temperatures will start to warm up, and we'll get to that later. For now, we did see that storm roll in earlier this week. We don't have to worry too much about precipitation as the week moves forward. We do have some flurries moving in through the north tonight, but that'll head out by the morning. Now, we do have this high pressure moving in. This is going to bring a lot of clear skies. So we saw those skies today as well, especially right here in southern Saskatchewan, mainly sunny skies. And with this high pressure that's moving in, we'll start to see a lot more of that as the week moves on and heading into next week as well. So when we do see those warmer temperatures starting tomorrow, we'll be met with a lot of sunshine. Winds weren't too much of an issue today. However, as we head into tonight, we will see those wind gusts pick up a little bit in the north with those flurries that's moving in. So folks in La Ronge can see those gusts at around 20 kilometers an hour and even more up in Stony Rapids. We're looking at around 30. And as we head further into the week, those gusts will pick up, especially down south in the west. But once again, we're not going to be looking at around 30 or 40 kilometers an hour. They will be quite calm as we head further into the week. Now, we have been talking about those warmer temperatures. Look at this. This looks beautiful. We're seeing temperatures above zero starting on Sunday, and that'll continue throughout most of the week. Even on Saturday, we're still close to seasonal here in Regina. We'll see a daytime high at around -2, and the lows are still quite warm as well throughout the night. In Saskatoon as well, we are going to be seeing daytime highs above zero as well, and this looks amazing. So as you can see, that spring feeling is starting to come back in a little bit, and I hope that doesn't make you upset, Sam, because I know you hate it when I talk about the warm temperatures that we're feeling, because I am from Toronto, but
Thanks, Ty.
No problem, Sam.
Well, a British zoo recently released a video showing a 3-week-old baby porcupine wandering around the family's indoor den. Confident and active, Dakari was born February 13th and has 3 siblings. The little critter spends a lot of time just puttering around the family home. Cape porcupines are nocturnal, and what they lack in cuteness, they make up for in size. They're the largest of all porcupine species, but I think that's pretty cute. We'll be back after the break. March 31st is an important day for Ukrainian citizens. They have till the end of the month to come to Canada on an emergency visa. And those who are already here have until that day to file paperwork extending their stay for 3 years. Georgie Smythe has more.
Thank you. A new life in Canada begins with paperwork.
Bye, have a good day.
The emergency visa program that brought more than 200,000 Ukrainians to Canada is ending this month. Anyone approved needs to be in the country before March 31st, and Ukrainians are arriving in their thousands.
I come here because a program is finished, and I think it's important to do it because it's a really good change.
Worked very hard to.
Support groups like this church are noticing an uptick because come April 1st, it'll become harder for Ukrainians to travel here.
It
puts us in line with any other individual from many other countries in the world. So it is a very different, it's not a slight change, it's a very big change.
Andrei Batitsky and his wife Katerina Bondarenko arrived in Canada 4 months after Russia invaded their country.
We just build everything to have a good life in Kharkiv. In one moment, everything is destroyed.
They're still adjusting to the pleasures and pressures of life here.
Take a look my credit history, you will understand how it's tight. Yeah, it's really tight.
I'm a makeup artist.
Working several jobs while trying to extend their visa for another 3 years.
I will try to apply for a PR card because, when you have a permanent resident status in Canada, it looks like you are human.
Some Ukrainians have an easier path to permanent residency if a member of their family is already a citizen. Immigration lawyers say for most, options to stay longer are limited.
You just have to be mindful that there is always a chance that after 5 years or 6 years in Canada, you might have to go home. Yeah.
For this young couple, it's a possibility difficult to imagine as war grinds on. Georgie Smythe, CBC News, Vancouver.
Sweden formally joined NATO today at an official ceremony in Washington.
Russia will stay a serious threat to the Euro-Atlantic security for the foreseeable future. It was in this light that Sweden applied to join the NATO Defense Alliance, to gain security, but also to provide security. Ukraine is fighting bravely for its freedom, but they are also defending European freedom.
Depositing the instrument of ascension to the U.S. State Department marks Sweden's formal admission into the transatlantic military alliance. It's the second country after Finland to join NATO since Russia invaded Ukraine 2 years ago. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau welcomed the 32nd member to the Western Alliance. He also noted that Canada was the first country to ratify Sweden's accession. The Swedish flag will be raised outside NATO headquarters in Brussels on Monday. And Tyreek is back with one last look at your weather.
Thank you, Sam. So tonight in Regina, we're still going to be feeling those cooler temperatures, especially with that wind chill, feeling more like minus 25 tonight. Heading into tomorrow morning, still feeling that cool air, feeling more like minus 28 with the wind chill. But things will start to warm up as we head into the afternoon, getting closer to that daytime high of minus 5 tomorrow. In Saskatoon, also a colder night ahead, feeling more like minus 35 with the wind chill tonight. Heading into tomorrow morning, we're still going to be waking up to much cooler air in Saskatoon like we did this morning. But as we head into the afternoon tomorrow, we'll really start to see things warm up in Saskatoon. We'll be seeing temperatures around minus 9 and, of course, highs around minus 5 in Saskatoon as well tomorrow. Sam?
Looking forward to those warmer temperatures. Thanks, Ty.
Me too, Sam.
And before we leave you tonight, scientists have spotted a gray whale off the coast of Massachusetts for the first time in more than 200 years. Just 5 gray whales have been seen at the Atlantic and Mediterranean waters in the last 15 years. Scientists attribute that to global warming. The Northwest Passage, which connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, has lacked ice in recent summers, and that has allowed the gray whales to pass through. Pretty spectacular opportunity. That is it for us tonight. For news anytime, you can head to cbc.ca/Sask. You can subscribe to the CBC Saskatchewan YouTube channel or download the CBC News app on your phone or tablet. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.